People who grew up as the black sheep of the family, how's life like now? I was the kid who always got blamed for everything. If a glass broke anywhere in the house, it was my fault. If my parents found something missing, they'd look at me first. Even when I wasn't home, somehow I'd still catch heat for whatever went wrong. My older brother Mason was basically perfect in their eyes. Star athlete, straight A's, never caused any trouble. Mom would brag about his baseball trophies to anyone who'd listen. Meanwhile, I was the messy kid who spent all day drawing comics in my room instead of playing sports. When I was 13, I started hanging out in the garage more than inside the house. My parents never asked why. If they had, they would have found out Mason was hitting me when nobody was around. He'd punch me in the stomach where it wouldn't show, then act like nothing happened at dinner. One time, Mason stole $40 from Dad's wallet and blamed it on me. I got grounded for 2 weeks. When I tried to tell them the truth, Mom just rolled her eyes and said, "Stop being jealous of your brother for once, Logan." That's when I realized they'd already made up their minds about who I was. In high school, I failed chemistry and algebra. Had to do summer school while Mason was off at some fancy baseball camp. At dinner that night, Dad called me an embarrassment right in front of everyone. Mason just sat there grinning like he owned the whole house. That summer, I applied for a job at this local comic book shop. The owner, this older guy named Pete, actually looked at my drawings and said they were good. First time anyone had ever said that about anything I did. He let me redesign their flyers and even put some of my art on the store windows. I started drawing webcomics and posting them online. Nothing fancy, just stupid jokes about school and life, but people actually liked them. By the time I was 20, I had like 500,000 followers. I never told my family about it though. They wouldn't have understood anyway. When I was 22, this animation studio in California offered me a real job. I packed up my car and left. My parents didn't even help me load boxes. Mason was too busy with his new girlfriend to notice. 3 years later, my parents finally invited me home for Christmas. I wasn't gonna go, but curiosity got the better of me. At dinner, Mason brought his girlfriend and spent the whole meal bragging about some get-rich-quick scheme he was running. Mom and Dad hung on every word like he was some kind of genius. Then Mason's girlfriend turned to me and said, "Wait, aren't you the guy who makes Dumpster Night?" My little brother is obsessed with that comic. The whole table went dead quiet. I just smiled and said, "Yeah, that's me." Mason looked like someone had punched him in the gut. After dinner, Dad pulled me aside and said, "We always knew you'd end up doing something creative." I just nodded, even though it was complete bullshit. They never believed in me for 1 second.